CEO Ronald Hickley from Creating the Difference. We're going to talk to you today about the new not urethane hammer ball. We're going to do a little deep dive on it, give you some explanation as to what not urethane actually means. We're going to start by explaining the difference between a reactive ball and a urethane ball. This ball right here is a reactive ball. This ball right here is a urethane ball. And the difference between these two bowling balls is this right here. This is called a plasticizer. This is what makes holes, little pores, in the reactive ball that allow it to absorb oil. And that's one of the big characteristics that make a reactive ball different than a urethane ball. A urethane ball does not absorb oil, a reactive ball does. And that's how we're going to define whether this not urethane ball is a reactive ball or it's something else. One of the other interesting characteristics that makes urethane unique is its ability to hold the surface. So a urethane ball will hold the surface much longer than a reactive ball. So we're going to use a CTD, a surface scanner, and we're going to check out the surface change as we bowl today as well. And those are the things that we're going to begin to use to help us have a better understanding of what not urethane actually means. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to start with the urethane purple hammer. Now, we've got a urethane purple hammer, we have a reactive purple hammer, and we have the not urethane bowling ball as well. And all these bowling balls have been scanned and they're all right at 500 grit. So all the bowling balls scanned at 500 grit to start. So we'll start with the original urethane purple hammer. Now, one of the interesting things about the purple hammer is that the first shot of that bowling ball always hooks an enormous amount. You're going to watch. I'm going to try to repeat that shot again. When I do that, the ball's going to tame down. I'll throw it one more time. It'll tame down even more, and then it will kind of begin to be whatever it's going to be. And that's just one of the characteristics of true urethane. I also want to show you the flare pattern of this bowling ball. The flare of the original urethane purple hammer actually is a little bit less than the reactive and the not urethane bowling ball. Strike. Oh. Now let me show you real quick. Look at the lane. Those shots were thrown dead on top of each other. You can see that. They're thrown dead on top of each other, but the ball reaction is completely different. And that's one way, that's just one of the downsides of throwing a urethane ball, right? That ball's got to settle in. So let me wipe the ball off. And like I said, that's just a characteristic of urethane. Like, it's got to settle in. Six. Close. So now what I'll have to do, I'll have to adjust, right? So I'm going to move everything left. I'm obviously too far in. That's one of the reasons why, I'm like 360, 370 RPMs. The guys on tour are 500 or higher. That's one of the reasons why, for me, it's not so great to throw a urethane ball, whereas the higher the rev rate, the more you can get that bowling ball to shape. But the solution here, since we're blowing on just a house shot, is just to move everything left. Get there. Cool. So we'll stay there for a little bit. We'll throw some more shots. But you can see, the ball, this is why I struggle with urethane in general, because I can't create enough shape. If you don't get it early, you're not getting it at all. So I hope that the not urethane ball doesn't roll like this. But we'll see. Just a little bit more. So you can see there, right? It's early. If you get it early, you can get the hook and you're fine. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll switch balls and we'll throw the not urethane ball and kind of see how it's going to roll. Let's go back to kind of where we were initially and see what it does there. And we're going to look to see if it loses performance. strike's a strike, right? So I could just see from that shot there, definitely it's cleaner, right? It's cleaner than the urethane ball. All right, so we didn't wipe off with the purple hammer, so we won't wipe off the first shot with this one either, just so it's an equitable comparison. Okay. All right, so little loss of performance there, but not much at all. Like, that was pretty close. That was pretty close. That's kind of what I would expect out of a reactive ball, honestly. Now we'll wipe it off, because you should actually wipe off your ball every single time. Look at the flare real quick. There's a little more flare there for sure, but you should wipe the ball off anyway, right? Let's see how this one rolls. Yeah. So, I mean, immediately that tells me two things. One, this is not urethane, which equals reactive. And two, this ball is going to be way, way, way more usable than a purple hammer. Now, the guys on tour, that'll be a little different story. I'm curious to see if I move in, if the ball continues, because one of the downsides to purple urethane is as you move in and you try to hook it, once again, if it's not early, you lose all the hook all the way around. So this ball, I'm curious to see if it's more continuous. Just make a small move, not a big move, just a little move. Come on. Yeah. So this is going to be the league bowler's not urethane ball. So let me throw purple reactive now, because this I don't think rolls like purple reactive. Purple reactive has been out for a while. I don't think this rolls like purple reactive at all. But let's just find out. Oh no. Oh no. And I will immediately tell you the problem with purple reactive is that purple reactive inherently wants to go long and then be more angular down lane. But this core shape, these core numbers, let's see the flare real quick. The oil absorption is super fast. You can see the oil is already absorbing in the bowling ball. It did not do that on the new not urethane ball. I will also tell you that the PBA's got a rule for oil absorption now. And their rule is set such that if a bowling ball absorbs the oil faster than 45 minutes, it is considered a reactive ball. If it's slower than that, it's considered urethane. This bowling ball, I mean, look, the oil's gone. The other bowling ball, it's set there for a little bit, right? It's set, it's still there. The urethane bowling ball, it's never going anywhere. It's never leaving the ball. So that right there just tells you this ball is a slower oil absorbing ball than this ball, but it's faster than this ball. So it's kind of in the middle. Come on, reactive. Do the right thing. So Jacob, I mean, you've seen me bowl league. You've seen me bowl with purple reactive. You've seen me bowl with purple hammer. And I mean, when you watch the ball go through the pins, the purple urethane, like, what do you see when you watch me go, throw that ball typically? What do you see?
So when I see you throw the original purple hammer, when it's going through the pins, it's deflecting a lot. It's not going through them cleanly. It's not splitting the 8-9. I mean, if you get all 10, it's probably tripping out of 5-7. The ball's just too forward for you.
Very forward. Now this ball, the reactive version, it's better, but the problem that I have with this is it wants to do too much for where you have to play with it at, right? So I am left from where I was. There we go. See, so look, that's what I mean right there. So that ball, good shot, reactive, and it goes sideways. So then you go, oh, cool, let me just move in. Problem is you're gonna move in, that core's not very strong. There's not an unbelievable amount of flare there, and I'm gonna end up bucketing. So that's the downside to purple reactive, in my opinion. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not desirable. Like, it's not what you want. I think the not urethane ball is going to be way more usable because I'll have more room for air. You can see the oil still on the ball. It's going in, but it's going in slowly. I have more room for air, and it seems to be just more continuous. Haha. Little long, so I can move it just a little bit more left, but strike nonetheless. I almost feel like this is like the league bowler's version, but it definitely is because it's more continuous. It doesn't roll as forward as a purple hammer, and I also believe it's not as angular like a purple reactive wants to be. Watch this, watch this. Yeah. So there's just more room for error. But meanwhile, let's throw a few more shots with the not urethane. I like the name, it's clever. What do you think of the name, Jacob?
I mean, it's a little suspicious.
It's suspicious?
Suspicious.
Why you say that?
I mean, it's just not urethane. So if it's not urethane, that means it's reactive?
Well, that was really the question. I would say now 100% it's reactive, right? Because we deem reactive as absorbs oil. If it absorbs oil, it's reactive. If it doesn't, it's urethane. And that's just the end of the discussion. So for me, there's no question. We know this ball absorbs oil. We did an oil absorption test. And we know that it's got some performance characteristics that look maybe more like the urethane, more so than the reactive, but definitely this ball would be considered a reactive ball. So I'm going to throw one shot on lane 2 because lane 2 is a higher friction surface. We'll wipe it off, throw on the higher friction surface. It should be just fine right over here. Yeah, not urethane, all right. I'm cool with that. Let's throw a couple more shots with the old purple hammer. You can see that oil. It ain't moving. Now here, I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna throw this ball and then get the flare for you and let you see the difference again. Much more square to the lane, got to hook early, and it sits there. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what urethane is supposed to do. For comparison, look at the flare. So you can see I'm flaring it about this much on this ball. Conversely, I'm only flaring it about this much on this ball. And that's just because the differential is lower. Now you say, why is the differential lower, Ron, if the core is the exact same? The density of urethane is heavier than reactive. And the only way to make the ball lighter is to change the inner core. You can't change the cover stock. Because of that, inner core is lighter, differential goes down. Early, sit there, and be flat. We're gonna count that as a good shot though, because it's a good shot. It just doesn't strike like reactive does, or not reactive, or not urethane rather. See, if I was Packy, I could be able to get this thing to hook, but I can't do that, man. I can't get those revs like these got. Early, go. Yay, close. So that's it. Like, that's just the difference. That's what that ball does. If you don't get the hook early, you don't get the hook at all because it kind of sits and rolls forward. Got to be early. See that? Goes to the pins, ball goes over the 8 pin. That's a telltale sign that you're getting ready to leave something flat. And you say, man, you're dogging the purple hammer, Ron. Not really. I'm just explaining how it rolls, why it does what it does for the average guy, right? Not for the guys on TV. Oh, yikes, that's ugly. All right, so that ball, we got equitable shots on that one. Finish up with the reactive ball. Got to move back right. Come on, reactive. Yo, flatty flat. Ugh. Good shot, but that's the problem. When you move back right, the reactive ball can be just as bad. And if you square up to it, it'll pick up, and then it goes through the face. So you just gotta split the difference, throw it better, whatever you want to call it. That'll be close. See? That's what I mean. So let's throw this ball again. We're just trying to get through the shots so that, look at the surface. I told you the surface changes on the reactive ball is different than a urethane ball. I want to show you that too. Jacob, watching these balls go down the lane, what's your overall impression of all three of them?
So my overall evaluation and or impression of these balls is the new blue is closer to what they were looking for when they made the purple reactive. The purple reactive is too much like a reactive ball to be close to the purple. Whatever they did to this new blue ball, I think they hit it pretty close on the money of what they're looking for. They're looking for a shape that's so similar to urethane, you can't really tell the difference, but it doesn't absorb, or it absorbs oil unlike a urethane ball.
Right. I think it hooks more though. The blue hooks more for sure. Done. Close enough. Okay, so now we're taking a look at the surface of these bowling balls. So let me grab purple hammer first. Get the scanner going. Let me clean off the spot. Remember, these balls were all 500 to start, so I gotta clean it off. All right, so let me scan this ball. You can see the purple urethane ball is at 500 grit. Purple reactive. You can see purple reactive is at 1,000 grit. Not urethane. What are you? Are you 1,000 like the reactive? Or are you 500 like the original purple? $1,000. So this would definitely tell me that the not urethane is reactive, but obviously it rolls different than this reactive. And that's a good thing because I think this reactive is not the best overall. I think this is actually way more usable, and I think more people are going to find that this ball is definitely something that they actually can take with them to the league. I'm going to show you one more thing real quick. Got two more balls over here. Both of them are perfect mindsets. They both are at 500 grit. We're going to talk just briefly about those. I just want to show you the performance. One of them has nothing done to it, and the other one has something done to it. We'll talk just a little bit about that. This is the one that has had nothing done to it. I will throw it again. Because I want you to see. Look at that flare, Jacob. A lot of flare on that ball.
That's a lot.
A lot of flare on that ball. Reactive. That's reactive performance there. Get it in, get a little right, or get a little left, still be able to get the strike. Let me cut the lights off real quick so you can just kind of see. Two different lines, both of them struck. Welcome to house shot reactive territory. So now, I'm gonna grab the other perfect mindset. And this is what makes this ball different than the other ball. We'll stand in the same spot. We got the whole lane to hit, as you can tell. Jacob, did you see that?
It didn't do nothing.
It did not.
It went dead straight. It's like a spare ball.
So you got the flare, right?
Yeah.
Same amount of flare. Let's move left. Let's move left. Let's move left. We're gonna go where we were with the purple urethane.
Did you just turn a mindset into a purple hammer?
I don't know. Did I?
It's pretty close.
One more shot. See the flare still there?
Still flares a bunch.
Yep. Just gotta be left. On behalf of Jacob and Justine, I am CEO Ronald from Creating the Difference. Talk to you soon.